Hello everybody and welcome to episode 10 of Trials and Trebuchets. I am your Dungeon Master Luke, and joining me as always is...
Hi there, I'm Ben, and I'm playing a level 3 gnome called Windsor Wallaby, and unfortunately his little friend isn't here, Mr. Wiggles!
Hey everyone, my name is Carla, and I play your mysterious rope-loving level 3 tiefling rogue, Integrity Idleberry.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I play Mira Marchand, a level 3 half-elf bard who loves music, club activities, and weaponizing bad puns for magical attacks.
And this week, and probably every week from now, joining us as well is...
Hi, I'm Sam.
And that's all Sam's gonna say for now until later. Last time on Trials and Trebuchets, very simple. The students defeated a great foe constructed of paper in order to win not only their freedom, but the freedom of their new friends Delnus and Roger. After defeating this golem, tiger, shark, dragon hybrid, they escaped the book that they were trapped in and rejoined the archive detention duty. So that's pretty much it that happened last time. It was very simple, very, one note. It was fun, and now that was last Sunday, so the week has passed. I'll ask the three of you, Miro, Winsler, and Integrity, did you do anything cool this week? What'd you get up to at school?
I don't know about school, but Mira has been very excited planning the party in the restricted section that she'd planned for the other golems. Everything's well in order. She's been the free time that she hasn't been spending with her friends or in clubs or not studying, she's been spending, cutting up ribbons and making decorations, sneaking them down to the restricted section. It's going to be a blast.
Absolutely. Anyone else do anything cool this week?
I just wrote my mom for more money.
Okay, that's so real, though.
Wow. Hey Ma, can I get more money, please? Thanks.
Yeah. Coins, please.
More gold.
What you don't even spend money on anything, though.
I just like having money.
And Winsler?
A simple goal.
Winsler, did you do anything fascinating?
Studied hard in all of his classes.
Nerd.
Probably asked quite a few of his classmates and roommate for a little bit of spare change or some materials that he could use to maybe get Mr. Wiggles back.
For that one, I'll say make a persuasion check for me, please.
Oh, shit.
With advantage, because you're just a cutie pie.
And my fucking cat died. Ooh. That was a 14.
Okay. I'll say you got 4 gold, pity gold, from one of the attendants in the conjuration department who you were talking to.
Okay.
But not enough to buy the components for a Mr. Wiggles rejuvenation spell.
Fortunately not.
So normally your great adventures take place on Sundays, your rest day, or in your case, adventuring day.
Yeah.
However, this time it is the crack of dawn on Friday morning. Everyone's classes start at 8:30 a.m.
What a horrid existence.
Spellcraft class.
Spellcraft. Everyone's in Spellcraft together.
Aw.
Yay! Don't cheat off my test.
I don't care enough about doing well at school to cheat off your test. Joke's on you.
I've gotten ahead of myself, actually.
Retcon.
Who has the orb
I think
that you
orb?
got from the hatch?
Integrity.
Blue orb.
Integrity. It's the middle of the night.
On a Friday? Or...
No, this is
Thursday.
Thursday night, Friday morning. You're not awake, you're asleep because you're a goody two-shoes. You and your roommate Sylvie, both in bed by 9 or thereabouts. Sylvie is at least. She has to get up early and pray. However, in your sleep, you don't see this. But the orb, wherever it's stored, where do you keep it?
I store it, what do you call that thing?
Like a wardrobe?
No.
A drawer?
No.
Box?
Like
Welcome
a treasure
to podcast
chest. My
charades.
chest. My chest.
In a chest? Like a trunk?
Yeah, in my trunk.
A jewelry
okay.
trunk.
Is it wrapped in socks or something?
Not wrapped in socks. Wrapped in silk beside my brooch.
Oh, silk.
Oh, because you're well off. Regardless, your trunk begins to emit a blue glow. Needless to say, you don't see this, but what you do see is your dream of delicious puff pastries is interrupted, and you find yourself in a room. The room is completely composed of this black, oily stone. Sitting in the center of the room is a circular pillar. It rises about 3 feet off of the ground, and there are a couple glass vials above it. One is filled with yellow liquid, one is filled with green liquid, one is filled with blue liquid, and one is filled with purple liquid. Standing before you, you see a tall, amorphous figure, humanoid, black oily skin. Their head is that of a cobra, their eyes completely white. They turn to you in what seems like to you a corporeal form. You feel like you're truly here in this dream, and they say, "You control progress."
Well, who are you?
I am the progenitor. I come from the sky and give the gifts of control. And he turns and gestures towards the plinth with these glass vials, and then turns back to you, and he goes, "You who controls progress, seek the others. One, the tall one, they control might, and they control reverence. The other, the freezing one, controls power.
What?
Submit yourselves to these ones, or take control of theirs."
What do you mean?
And then you wake up in your room, and there's no glowing light. Nothing's happened. It's a spring night. It's probably about 3 in the morning. You need to be up for school in like 3.5 hours. So, do you want to do anything?
Well,
You feel almost I'll say this much. You feel like a cold sweat. Like you're very uncomfortable.
I'm going to, since I remember something to do with progress and might and stuff like that from the hatch, I'm gonna go to my chest, or my, what's the word for it again?
Trunk.
My trunk, and I'm going to look at the orb and see if there's anything different.
Absolutely. You pop open your trunk, and you see sitting there in its small square cloth, the orb seems to be incredibly warm, but it's not emitting any light.
I am gonna head back to bed for a little bit.
Okay.
But I will keep the orb close to me, like cuddling it, I guess.
This is my child. He is round and warm.
Don't talk to me or my son ever again.
Back away.
It's great.
You
She,
fiends.
I have Kurogami, you have Mr. Wiggles, and Integrity has an orb.
An orb and a snake-headed thing.
The best pets of
That
all.
speaks in cryptic messages.
So
Don't all pets.
it is the morning. It is about 6 a.m. Mira, you live in the eastern dormitories. You and your roommate Alina both hear these incredibly loud cawing of roosters. Caw-caw, 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 repeatedly for about 3 minutes. This is a routine thing. It happens every single morning at this time. You wake up and see that underneath your door have been slipped 2 letters. One is addressed to you, and one is addressed to your roommate. Meanwhile, in the northern dormitories, where both Integrity and Winsler live, in separate rooms, of course, you hear the sounds of slamming pots. Ting, 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 ting. And this carries on for about 3 minutes, as it does every morning at 6 a.m. Underneath your doors, you both find 2 letters, one addressed to you and one addressed to your roommate. Opening these, as we would see in like a a movie as like a try shot of like all three of you opening it at the same time. You see a letter which is it reads the following. Today, Friday the 18th of spring, in the 952nd year of the recorded age, you are to arrive at the office of Professor Underbow at 4:15 this afternoon. Following this, you are required to attend the Autumn's End Festival Preparation Seminar at 4:30 in order to receive your tournament equipment as well as meet your potential team mentors. And then it's signed, the administration. And the seal of Wildcliff is there emblazoned upon the bottom.
First thing I thought when you were reading the first part is like, shit, are we in trouble again?
Oh, yeah. Report to the
I
office.
was
It's
like,
like,
oh,
well,
no.
we did such a good job with that last time.
My heart just dropped.
Oh, super same here.
Okay. Would you guys like to do anything before heading for breakfast?
Yeah, Mira always plays a couple of scales in the morning just
Absolutely.
to kind of wake herself up and get into the habit of it. But
Mhm.
other than that, she's on her
Okay.
way.
And I'm gonna do my push-ups.
Oh, okay. Gotta
I'm
get
gonna
Wait, do you play
Jackie.
scales on a lyre?
I don't know what a scale is, so sure.
No, you can.
That,
You can.
okay. I
You
trust
can,
Ben.
play,
He's
you,
our
can,
music
you can
man.
play scales on any musical instrument.
Cool.
So let's go through this. Starting with Winsler, bottom of the alphabet. You see as you wake up that your roommate, Kurt, is still awake at his workbench, almost like he never went to sleep last night. He's been working on a large box-like thing, which he insists to be a condiment dispenser. He's been working on it incessantly for the past 3 days.
Wonderful.
And has not slept a wink since then, nor has he attended any of his classes.
Jesus.
Next would be Mira. Your roommate, Alina Hollyfield, the least discussed of the roommates thus far, a small halfling girl, is in her smaller than average bed and is refusing to get up out of bed, as she does most mornings, especially Fridays. Although reluctantly, after about a minute of this foolishness, she reaches out and puts her large square-rimmed glasses on and seems to start getting ready for her day.
What a cutie pie.
Pardon me?
Oh, I just said what a cutie pie.
Oh,
That's a very cute
okay.
image.
And finally, Integrity. Your roommate is absent as she leaves for prayers every single morning at 5 a.m. So, would you like to head to the hall, the dining hall, to get some breakfast?
Yes, I'm
Absolutely.
starving.
Before we do that, I want to quickly shuffle through all the furniture in my dormitory because I don't know if I searched that.
Okay.
Yet. I'm gonna see if I can
Sure.
find any loose change lying
Couch
around.
coins.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
couch
great
coins.
one. Give me an investigation.
Need me some of them couch coins. How's an 18 do?
An 18 lets you find a couple copper pieces, 4 to be precise.
Fooey.
They were hidden underneath a big pile of discarded patent scrolls in the corner of the room, along with a lot of spider webs, a lot of dust, some daddy long legs. Yeah.
Sounds like my apartment.
Same.
Same. We have
Too
a
real.
daddy long legs problem.
Same.
Anyways, they're rampant.
I think it's just a thing.
I did see a silverfish the other day, so
Yeah, same. I killed them.
The silverfish?
I killed them.
Mhm.
Damn. Stone cold.
I'll take the few copper pieces.
Absolutely. You see sitting at the desk, as you try to be quiet and not disturb your roommate, you see that he's actually asleep with asleep sitting up, like with his hands out in front of him on the desk, almost like
Oh.
he's contemplating what to do, but he's just sitting there asleep.
That's a little creepy.
So everyone's gonna go to get some food, get some grub.
Yes.
Okay. So you arrive at the dining hall where you have eaten every single morning for the past 3 weeks, except for the first or the second Sunday that you were here when you, instead of getting breakfast, went to the individual assessments and then promptly followed Teb to the sunken hatch. So you didn't really get breakfast that time, and you got sent home before you got dinner. So you kind of didn't get eaten, which might be neglect, but you're adults, so it's not.
We didn't what there, Luke? We didn't get what?
What did I say?
You didn't get eaten, which I mean, I'm glad for that, but
You didn't
You're
get
right
to
that
eat
not
lunch.
getting
I'm glad
Both
we
did.
didn't. I'm
Technically
glad we
neglect.
didn't get eaten by that Nothic, but you know,
Teb would never harm hair on your head.
That's a lie. He got very aggressive with us when we were trying to take his special shiny sphere.
And did so successfully.
Okay, so at the dining hall, Winsler, you arrive alone. Mira, you arrive with Alina in tow. She's chatting her head off about one of her friends in the zoology class that she has named Velden, a fellow halfling who she seems to have a crush on, seeing as she talks about him nonstop. And then Integrity, as you arrive, you see Sylvie is already here. So do you all want to sit together?
Do they serve waffles?
There is some waffles. There is fried eggs, sausages, toast, butter, and marmalade.
I'm just gonna
Sounds
pile
good.
5 waffles on my plate.
Absolutely. There's also syrup, I should say. Important.
Yeah, load that shit on there.
That's very gnome to have a bunch of syrup and only sugary food.
Is there any fresh fruit?
I would say there's probably... no, because it's spring. So things would just be starting to bloom, actually.
Mira's gonna get some toast and marmalade then.
Okay. So sitting at your table is... Or like, there are these long tables. They can fit about 16 or 18 people. And that's sitting like comfortably. If everyone was sitting like shoulder to shoulder, they could probably fit about 24.
Oh, it's like benches, not individual
Yes,
seats?
it's benches.
Nice.
So sitting at your table is Sylvie and Alina and the three of you, as well as some people that Sylvie is on her own team with, which are two humans, one named Ganal and one named Lucia. Ganal is a bald boy. He's about 16 years old, and Lucia is a 20-year-old girl with like auburn hair.
I love auburn hair.
You've interacted with them a few times in classes, but you're not very friendly with them. I should say they're acquaintances, nothing quite more. After a few moments more, a black-haired female elf shows up, as well as a black-haired halfling. You know these people to be Ira and Velden. Velden of the titular, or of the famous crush.
Alina? Ah.
Yes. And he sits down across from the table. And these are all people who are also, like, this is their first time, like, this is their first year at Wildcliff. So there's kind of like that kinship. Additionally, a dragonborn comes to sit at your table, who no one seems to be very fond of. He is a white dragonborn. You might know him by the name of Mirundine. He eats about 12 eggs, and that seems to be it, before leaving promptly.
Gotta get my egg in.
And you know that Velden and Era are on a team with him.
Cool.
The final person to come that interacts with you people, beyond all the other students who are in upper years who you haven't really had a chance to interact with outside of a few like club meetings and such, who like say hi to you in the morning, but it's the morning, it's like 6 a.m, so like who wants to chat right now?
No one's in a chatty mood.
One person is in a chatty mood, and she is blonde with a large nose. She has a large patchwork hat on. This time it's all in different silver colors, but it's all weird different patterns. And she's wearing her Wildcliff robes this time. So that blue nice robe with a golden W on the breast. And then underneath is completely black clothing. She is carrying 3 large, elegantly wrapped presents. And she sets them down on the table and goes, "Good morning, everyone."
Hey, morning.
Good morning. I have a mouthful
morning.
of waffle.
Absolutely. And in case you didn't pick up, this is Delness.
Yeah.
And she is going to start distributing her gifts. And she goes, "So I promised you guys some gifts for helping me and Roger out. So I hope I didn't take too long in getting them. I asked my dad for some help for a few of them, but the rest I found them myself." And she hands one to you, Winsler, if you would like to open it.
Oh, thank you.
It's very
Dallas.
heavy.
Thank you very
I'll say that
kindly.
much. Oh, Winsler, also, as an audience note, Winsler's now going to have a slight southern accent because
Yeah,
Ben
I
thought
just
that
thought-
would be a good shift.
Because the best voice that I can do is like a It's like some kind of southern accent. I figured, hey, why not do
Winslow
this?
just like didn't want to come out of the box with the southern accent because he thought we wouldn't like it. But then it was just our friendship got so deep that it was just there was never
Sorry,
the
my
right time
accent
to
just
bring
kinda
up that was
slips
his
on out
fake
there.
voice. But he's finally become comfortable enough to share it with us, and I feel very
You're
honored.
my friends. I feel so comfortable talking like this around y'all.
He's just a farm boy.
I'm just from the yonder old farm
Yonder Mudflats farm.
across them mud flats.
Would you like to open your very heavy little box?
Yes.
It's not little. I shouldn't say. It's very big.
It's a very big, heavy
It could
box.
be. It could be a coffin for a gnome.
No thanks. I don't want.
Not to be crude with it.
I don't want to die.
I'm gonna say that's what she says. She's like, "This is like a coffin for you." She has a very morbid sense of humor.
I'm gonna. Great.
So as you open it, inside is there's one main compartment that is open, and you see that there's a book, and it's a very thick brown leather tome entitled "The Modern Methods of Elemental Experimentation."
Ooh.
And in the front cover, there's a entire page of enchanted cat stickers, which will remain sticky for the entire duration until they are destroyed.
Oh, that's great.
And then there's a second smaller box next to this tome. And when you open that, inside of it, you see a red dragon scale,
Ooh.
a sculpted clay hand, and and 3 containers of one each of charcoal, incense, and herbs.
Oh my.
Is that what I think it is?
Charcoal, incense, and herbs are in fact the components for a find familiar spell. The others are components for the spells Maximilian's Earthen Grasp, Agnazar's Scorcher, and Fog Cloud, the 3 of which are found in the Modern Methods of Experimental Experimentation.
Oh, thank you so kindly, Delnis. I can finally bring back my friend.
She's like, absolutely, no problem at all. And then she grabs a smaller box and hands it to you and Taggart, and she's like, this one was kind of difficult to get a hold of, but I think you'll really enjoy it based on, well, I talked to a lot of people, a lot of your professors about you, and I did interview your roommate to see what she thought you would like, so I really hope you enjoy it. And it's a very light, tiny box.
Aw, Delnis, you didn't have to, but thank you. Takes the box.
Opening it, you find a silver threaded rope that is 60 feet long. Delnis will say, it's a rope of climbing, and it's enchanted, so you can just talk to it, and it'll like knot up for you, or like snake along the ground if you want to grab something. It's really cool. My dad got it for you, so if you ever see him, say thanks to him, not me.
Oh, trust me, I need this.
The Mage
There's
Hand
also-
Union has become obsolete.
Additionally, there's 2 small, one tiny little like pine box, and one very dark, heavy box. Both of them are like hinged and have a little latch on them. Which one would you like to open first, the big one or the small one?
The small one, please.
Inside the small one, you find a silver fern hair clip. It's not magical or anything, but it is very cute. It's about 3 inches long.
Wonderful.
And then inside of the larger box, you see a dagger. And Delnis is going to say, now this is a dagger that I had enchanted by my roommate. It's called Squall, and it's really cool. It like shocks people. So mechanically, this dagger, instead of doing regular piercing damage, does lightning damage.
Can it kill people?
Same as a normal dagger, yes. Did you ask that? Is that in character or is that for me?
Because you said that she has like a morbid
Oh,
humor, right?
okay.
So I'm like, does it kill people?
She's like, oh, super. Yeah.
And then we laugh.
Yeah, she laughs very hard.
Oh my god.
And then finally, Mira. She hands you a not super big box. It's very long, though. It's like a long rectangle.
Oh my
And
gosh, thank you so much. And I'm gonna
no
open it.
problem. Okay. 1 second, please. Isn't it fun to get gifts, guys?
Yes.
Super fun.
Yeet.
Hey, Luke. It's good to get gifts, huh?
Am I missing
Okay.
something here?
So you open it, and the first thing you see is a long, dark wooden box. That seems to be why the larger box is constructed the way it is. And sitting on top of it is a small silk drawstring bag, as well as a letter. What would you like to open first?
The big box.
Okay, underneath the big box, you open the hinges and you see a beautiful silver flute. And she goes, now that is a mute flute. And I think it lets you cast spells. I don't know anything about musical magic, but my dad knows an awful lot, and he wanted to give this to you as like a thank you.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
So mechanically, the mute flute has 5 charges. You can use 2 to cast the sleep spell, and you can use 3 to cast silence, and they recharge every week.
The mute flute goes doot doot.
Cute, cute.
What would you like to open next?
The bag, please.
The little bag. You see a silver, it almost looks like a crescent that's been folded around in a semicircle, if that makes sense. It's a necklace. Like kind of like a choker that would sit on the back of your neck, but it wouldn't choke you, so it's not a choker at all. And it is a necklace of adaptation. So it lets you adapt to any environment that you might be in, and you can breathe in like any environment except water, obviously, and you have advantage against like poisonous gas or like noxious fumes and stuff. So if you ever like get into huffing spray paint, it's gonna be real hard.
Wonderful.
Thank you for curbing Mira's burgeoning drug habit.
And the final thing, the envelope, it just reads to Miss Marchand on the outside, and there is a large wax seal on it that just has the letter R.
Well, I kind of look at her for like confirmation that it's okay to open this right now.
She nods very enthusiastically.
Okay, I open it.
It reads, Miss Marchand, I must offer my most genuine gratitude for saving my daughter's life. Based on the story I've heard from her, I have brought the restriction of the ever-evolving guide to practical studying to the council during our last meeting. I'm sure it will bring you relief to hear that this proposal was accepted and this dangerous tome will be kept under strict supervision. As a continued expression of gratitude, I have funded my daughter's gift purchasing spree as well as offering a general payment of service and a letter of support for you. I look forward to seeing you in class, and I hope the 3 of you nurture your relationship with my daughter. And there's a small slip of paper in here that is almost like a credit slip for 200 gold pieces.
That's awesome. I kind of like show the letter around to everyone else in the group and like, because this is for all of us.
Quick, give me a dexterity save.
Okay.
Uh-oh. It was a poisoned letter.
15.
15. So the credit slip starts to slip out, but you catch it. And Delnus goes, oh, wow, that's really good. Because if it had fallen on the ground, that means you can't have it. That's like a family rule of ours. It means you have to give it to me. But you caught it, so shucks.
Okay. Thank you so much for this, Delnus, and thanks to your father as well. I know I haven't seen you around lately, and I know that's probably just because, you were looking for gifts and you want to make sure everything's all good, but is everything okay? I know kind of being stuck in a book is not the greatest time, so are you okay?
I'm good. I've been like, sleeping is way easier. That's one thing. There's not like this red sun that constantly is there and keeps you awake. Roger's fine. I went and checked on him a couple times. He can't leave the library because, of course. But I go and hang out with him sometimes. Yeah, I've just been really busy with trying to catch up on a week's worth of work that I missed. That's been my life.
No kidding. Well, I'm glad, and I'm sure we're all glad that you're doing better, and if you ever want to talk or, you just want someone to hang out with, you can always come sit with us.
I do have something really cool I want to talk about, actually. So you guys are all first years. I myself, this is my 3rd year of study. And she kind of sits down at the table next to you guys, next to you specifically, Mira. And she goes, so I just want to give you guys some tips about the Autumn's End Festival, if you have any questions.
Yeah, first of
and
all, what is it?
Well,
That helps.
well, every year since the founding of Wildcliff, they hold a festival, the Autumn's End Festival, to just give a celebration of the year and kind of an appreciation of everything that students have learned. I don't know if that's the original intention, but that's what it is kind of nowadays. And normally it has a few different components that kind of change year to year. I don't really know what's going to be on there, but there's one thing that's always on there, which is that there's always like a dueling tournament. So that's like what the teams are for. Also because, you get like a mentor, which you guys are getting today because like the registration's today and everything, right? So I'll see you guys there tonight, I guess, for registration. Not for like the mentor thing, because me and my friends already have a mentor. But you guys need to get a mentor. Also, it's really important to talk to everyone because like, you might not get who you want. Yeah. Do you guys know what the theme is?
No.
What's the thing?
Oh, okay. I don't know. The theme a couple years ago when I chose. Well, that's why I asked you, Winsler. Don't make that face at me. The theme a couple years ago when I chose was
you ask the
golems.
question when you don't know the answer.
I
You
asked you the
sail.
question of like, do you know? Did they tell you? Because they didn't tell
No.
me. I'm not in my first year. Why would they tell me?
I don't know shit. I just keep my head in the books,
And
20
with
years listening to people? Goes in one ear and right out the other. My pappy always had issues with that. I
Yeah, I
was kinda,
totally switched. I was like, oh.
I was just gonna, space out sometimes. You know how
Winslow, are
it
you
is.
okay? And he's asleep. And with
It's way too
that, we
early.
will cut to 4 o'clock tonight when the four of you finish class. What class do you guys have?
At 4 o'clock?
Arcane Theory?
Um,
Is that right?
Yes.
Or is it yeah?
It's Arcane Theory. Or at least Mira has Arcane
Okay.
Theory. I don't know. if
Yeah,
we
all of you have the same Friday class.
Cool.
Do we?
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks, Mira. I think you just like pull me along to classes. I don't know where I'm supposed to go.
You are not in all the same classes as Mira, so that does not at all
Okay,
happen.
on
Happens on
Fridays.
Fridays.
On Fridays. I'm just like, carry me wherever you need to take me.
I will say that you two, Integrity and Mira, are in alchemy together, along with Alina and Sylvie. But Winslow, you're off in zoology by yourself.
See you, nerds. I'm gonna have to go learn about animals and shit.
So it is for 8 o'clock. Outside of your class is a male elf who you might recognize as Professor Underbow's assistant, who kind of escorted there the first time you guys got in trouble. And he's kind of just reading a small book. And as he looks up and sees you guys, he goes, "Are you ready to go see Professor Underbow?"
Yeah, totally.
Always.
Absolutely. Follow me, students. And he kind of leads you he's just very elegant and swishy in his walking. As if it's no effort for him to walk very far, because it is a fairly far trip to the enchantment tower. And he leads you all the way up the stairs without breaking a single sweat and opens the door for you. Inside you see this wonderful lavish office you've seen once before, with the globe and the large window and the desk and the tiny halfling in a wool suit. And he's sitting there and he looks up at you and goes, "Students, please take a seat." And he kind of pushes a button on his desk and 3 chairs pop out of the ground.
I sit in one.
Absolutely. It's a wooden chair. It's not very comfortable.
That's
And
okay.
one of them is actually smaller so that Winslow, you can sit in it. It has like little steps up so that you can sit and your head will be at the same height as your friends.
That's so inclusive.
I am profusely sweating right now.
Yes, it's like 17 flights of stairs to get
Oh
up
my
here.
God.
Like, I'm just wiping my brow and it does nothing.
Okay. So he will go, "So today is the registration for the Autumn's End Festival preparation.
The
You got your
registration
letter.
for
I
your
hope you're here.
excavation.
You're here So I assume you got your letter, correct?
Oh, yeah, we all got our letters.
Yeah.
We did.
So details not included in the letter for you three specifically, because you do have the largest history among our first year students for mischief, was that today the advanced students will be joining the academy. So I know that you and all of your friends that you've met so far have enjoyed your 3 weeks at the academy, but there are some advanced students who seek education at Wildcliff who do not require the onboarding process that you three have received. As such, they'll just show up at a later date and get sorted into groups, the teams for the Autumn Zen Festival, and the teams that you will be with for the rest of your academic career here at Wildcliff.
Oh, so we get some new team members.
You get one new team member, yes. There's 4 students, 1 to each team. I have grandiose misgivings about assigning such a well-educated and kind student to a team which exhibits delinquency. You have proven that you're not the worst students that have ever passed through Wildcliff. None of you have been expelled yet.
So
that's good.
This
Yes?
isn't a meeting about us getting expelled?
This is not a meeting about expulsion. This is a meeting about setting expectations.
Oh, thank goodness. That wasn't in the letter, so I kind of freaked out a bit there.
Now, what I expect from you is to take this very academically gifted and socially gifted icon, this advanced student, and kind of let them bring you up, Let them, rise to their level,
That might be
Do you
a little
understand me,
hard
students?
If I'm going to be pretty honest here.
I do have my doubts, but
Rightfully doubt, sir.
there's only been one instance. There's been no other mischief. You've saved Professor Raythorn's daughter, so I have a modicum of confidence in the 3 of you. Now,
Thanks.
I guess that counts for something, right?
Now, my only request is that you do not do the opposite of what I've suggested and pull this student down to your level.
I mean,
Which is not an insult. You're all very gifted students to wind up here at Wildcliff, but I just want you to know that this is an advanced student you're dealing with. They've had many more years of practice and study than you have, with much more gifted teachers than you would have had. And this isn't a critique of your skill level.
Who have been teaching us have not been gifted?
I'm saying that the teachers
That's kind
you
of
might have had
them,
before coming to Wildcliff may have not been to the caliber that these advanced students have had.
But if you don't have anyone as a caliber professor student in the very beginning,
Mr. Wallaby?
Then how do they get risen up to the heights?
Mr. Wallaby, thank you. Now, my assistant will bring you to the Hall of Voyages, where you will meet your new team member, as will the rest of the teams at this point be meeting their new team members. You will then proceed to the evocation department and turn in any of your equipment that needs warding for tomorrow's seminar. I should say, classes tomorrow are canceled. You are not expected to attend classes, as the seminar will be ongoing. Does anyone have any questions?
yes. What is the theme for the Autumn Zen Festival?
Oh, the theme for this year's festival. Well, the festival itself doesn't quite have a theme, but I do think that what you're getting at is what is the theme of the mentorship program this year.
Sure.
And I'll explain it a little bit. Because I was intentionally vague in your letters to provide you as little detail as possible.
To incentivize us to come.
Yes.
The details were
What
just
Yeah,
the
you know
extra
what, that's
DLC.
fair.
Yes. The other students, your roommates, if you peeked at their letters, would have gotten a larger amount of information.
Oh.
Because they would have not been meeting with one of us administrators. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, to explain, this year's theme is, for the mentors, is all of their research, and they are independent researchers, so I would ask you that you don't bother them too much. You can form very good relationships with them, but don't go out of your way to pester them, because they will be your mentors for the duration of your stay at Wildcliff. The theme this year for all of their research projects and for ongoing research into the future is the Plain of Isithil, which is also known as the Eternal Forest. You might have heard of it. But
she hasn't.
I just want all of you to know that there will be some potential extraplanar travel in the future. We will be sending a waiver to your parents. You will get one as well. We need both copies signed just to have all our bases covered. There have been serious issues in the past. There is a dueling seminar going on all day tomorrow, and you'll learn more about that when you arrive at the evocation department. Any other questions?
No, I think
very well.
Pretty clear there.
Nope.
I hope you have a wonderful day tomorrow, and I hope that you enjoy meeting your new teammate tonight. Please be kind to them and show them all that Wildcliff has to offer.
Of course,
also,
we promise.
you can have a peppermint right there, and he points at a little crystal jar on his desk that has peppermints.
I absolutely take a peppermint.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna take 2. Pop one in my mouth.
Yeah, he has no problem with that.
Power move.
It's like he buys them so that people take them, so it's not an issue.
Fair.
Winsler?
I'm like, well, I don't think I'm gonna take peppermint.
Oh, are you scared of this man?
No, I just don't like peppermint that much.
Oh, okay. All right. So the swishy assistant, escorts you back down the stairs and brings you to a large central building, and that you have only been in once previously, and that was upon the day of your individual arrivals at Wildcliff.
The day of
when you teleported from your nearest large city. Integrity and Mira, that was from the elven capital of Ophelion, while Winsler, that was from the Dragonborn fortress of the Bridge Fort. You now find yourselves here. It's a large arched building, almost Gothic in style. A lot of the buildings on campus are built in these different architectural styles because the school has been added to over the many years it's been operational. This one just happens to be in a more Gothic style with large arches and yeah.
Each architect I kind of like what the previous person was going for, but I like this style better, and it's just like a gaudy, like, amalgamation of different styles that's
like every campus built before 1900, TBH.
Ugh.
So inside is and it's very dimly lit. There's some windows, a lot of stained glass, but for the most part it's very dimly lit, and it's just lit with candles. However, strewn about the multiple floors of this building are different teleportation circles to many of the large cities across the continent. Some of them in the upper floors are locked off to students and only permitted for like emergency usage. And some of them are just, even in the upper floors, are just bare in case a new teleportation circle needs to be created. However, as you walk in the front doors, you find yourself in front of all your other first-year students. Or not in front of them, but kind of coming up behind them. And they're broken apart into their other 3 groups, and they each seem to be talking to a new 4th member. And sitting on a bench alone, not talking to anyone, or no, that's not true. Standing next to a much shorter brown-haired human is who?
I have chills right now. Okay. So
super mega chill.
I guess, how much detail do you want me to go into this?
Just give like a basic physical description, I guess.
Okay. Standing there is a very tall woman, with very long, wavy black hair, and she's very tan, and she's, if there was a way to wear like the cloak very uniform, she has somehow done it, and she's dressed very formally. She, under her cloak, she's wearing a very long ornate dress, and she's just talking to her friend.
It's like the picture of the handbook that each of you were given and immediately left in your rooms, even though you're supposed to carry it with you every single day in your pocket.
Does
it's like
anybody
the picture...
really do that, though?
Some people might. Delnis probably does, because she's a herb. But it has like a picture of like the original sketches of like how the uniforms are supposed to be worn, and it's like someone ripped that out of the page and actually put it onto the floor, except they, instead of being a normal human, they made it a giant. Well, not a giant, just a 6 foot tall woman.
Yeah, that's a giant.
And the assistant professor, Underbow's assistant, walks up to your group, and the rest of the crowd kind of goes silent, and he addresses this new student and kind of bows a little bit and says, "Lady Cinderman, this is your new team. This is Miss Marchand, Miss Idleberry, and Mr. Wallaby." And he kind of bows and ducks away and seems to leave the building very quickly.
I turn and I say, "It's a pleasure to meet you all."
Ah, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Mira.
She's kind of surprised by that, but she's like, "It's very nice to meet you as well."
So before you see a frizzy-haired, dark-skinned half-elf who's the tallest of the group, much shorter than you, but still taller than everyone else.
Finally not the tallest.
You see a red tiefling with just horns that go straight up, who bears passing resemblance to your grandmother. And you see a tiny little gnome who's wearing big glasses, and he has a big floppy hat.
She kind of...
hey.
Hello.
Hi.
It's very, very nice to meet you all. And she kind of rubs her hands together.
Where are you from?
I actually don't know how to pronounce this place.
You're from a city named Aros.
Oh.
The human capital.
Ah, yes. Of course. I'm from Aros.
Oh, so when that dude said Cinderman, he meant like, okay. Wow,
The
hi.
Cinderman.
What?
Hi.
Suddenly so taken...
Again, nice to meet you.
Taken aback by this a little bit, aren't you, Mira?
Oh,
What's...
no, I just, when he said advanced, he meant like advanced.
I don't quite know what that means, but it's nice to meet you. It's a shame you can't meet my little friend because he's not here right now.
Oh,
But you have the
sorry
components.
to hear that.
Yeah, but we haven't gone to a brazier yet for me to cast the spell.
There's a brazier
Just
sitting in the
making-
corner.
You think I'm just gonna do that in the middle of all this fancy bullshit?
Yes.
No.
It's your cat.
Bye. BRB, you guys.
Okay, I'm just gonna waddle
Cat
over
time.
to a lit brazier.
Hey guys, I'll be back real quick. Runs out of the room, runs back.
Real
into the
cat hours.
I lied. There isn't one. I already said that the room is lit entirely by candles.
You're just
and,
a bundle
natural
of
light.
lies. How dare you?
After
DM
a
stands
few-
for dishonest man.
Yes.
multiple times I've lied to you in this very episode.
Disorderly misconducted.
So, after a few moments, a haggard would be a good descriptor.
Hagrid?
Haggard.
Oh.
Oh, that's where his name comes from.
Haggard.
Someone taller than me.
Haggard.
A haggard looking woman, a not disheveled, stressed out, annoyed, sour grape, sour apple, however you want to describe the woman. She's a
Sour
wrinkly
lemon.
old lady, graying hair, cut short. Integrity, you recognize her as Professor Haas, your martial applications of magic professor, is going to address the crowd and go, "Listen, first years, we're going to the evocation department now. I don't want anyone wandering off." And she doesn't even try to hide it. She's staring directly at the three of you. And she goes, "There will be many other students there. Please don't get lost or intimidated. You just need to register your equipment and then come to the other room to meet the mentors. All right, let's go." And then kind of herds you out of the building
Okay.
towards the evocation department.
I kind of, I turn and I'm like, oh, we did a wandering off the first time we were here, and now they kind of don't like us. So, just so you know, that's why they were doing the staring.
I see. Interesting.
I don't think that means too much, though.
It's nothing.
Well,
Yeah,
apparently
no,
there's less
NBD.
trust.
Yeah, apparently. They were kind of passive-aggressive at us earlier.
Turn back now. Never look back. You're making a mistake.
Why do I feel like I was prepared for this to happen?
So
Let me just pull out my handy-dandy Swiss Army knife. My Swiss Army wand.
Ah, yes, you were
So-
prepared for this.
So you all walk as a large herd of school children,
Sheep.
sheep, towards the evocation department. To refresh your minds, the evocation department consists of multiple classrooms around this ovular field. The ovular field has around it, there's this half open walkway that connects to the classrooms, and then it has these open archways which you can see out into the field itself, and it's kind of at the same ground level, so you could actually walk out. It's almost like a courtyard, but it's kind of a messed up courtyard. The field's very dirty. It's where the martial applications of magic course happens, and it's where you do all your sparring and training, and where the evocation students do all of their practicing. So it's very busted, for lack of a better word. And then on the actual roof around this ring are some stone seating, stands almost. And as you approach, there is a many people. It seems it doesn't seem like there is. Every student in the school is here from the first year to the fourth year, which is the bulk of the students.
How many
And
are
then
there
the
anyway?
addition. There's 4 teams, so what would that be? 16 people per year for the first 4 years. That's 64. And then there are 2 teams a year for the next 4 years. So there's 8 years of actual study. Most people just do 4 and then leave.
Oh,
but
I
you
meant
can
how
do an
many people,
additional
not
4.
how many years, but...
Oh, no, I'm telling you. I'm just doing the
Okay.
math in my head. So the answer to that question would be, 96.
Okay.
Damn.
Not a
Yeah.
lot.
That is reverse
No.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Club 96. Thank you, Sam, for being the only person who got that reference.
Okay.
Right away.
Over
Thank
my
you.
head.
Yep.
So as you arrive, you are specifically ushered very quickly to the front, seeing as you are the little fresh baby first years.
Little babs.
And you are ushered into the same room that you had your individual assessments at. Not that you've ever been in this room,
Nope.
because you skipped that.
Super did.
It's this small square room. At the far end of the room from the door is a raised wooden platform with a desk, and behind it is a chest. Sitting at the desk are 2 robed individuals. They're wearing kind of cloth coifs, a covering that covers everything and just lets their face hang out, and they're very tight to their head, almost like scuba gear, but made of silk.
Nice.
And they're kind of sitting there, and a small queue forms up. You are the 3rd team to walk up to the desk, and they go, all right, any equipment that you have that you would like to use tomorrow, or any questions that you want to talk about the dueling tomorrow? We need any equipment you're going to use at all, including any clothing, any armor, any weapons, anything, just to make sure everything's safe.
Narratively, I'm worried if we're gonna give away all of our weapons, but as a character, Mira's gonna give her instruments, including her new mute flute and
Okay.
her necklace.
Okay. Are you going to give them any clothing, or are you going to go fight
She's gonna
naked
fight
tomorrow?
completely naked. No, if she knew that she was gonna have to bring clothing, she would bring an outfit.
Okay. They go, oh, if you don't have anything, we have things that are kind of leftovers from past years, stuff people just never came back and picked up, if you're okay with using those.
Oh, like what?
And this, so to describe, there's a woman sitting on the right who has very high cheekbones, and then there's a man sitting on the right with jowls. And the woman kind of stands up and goes over to the chest, opens it, and pulls out after a couple of seconds of sifting through things, kind of pulls out a large uniform that's on a hanger, and it looks almost like a fencing uniform, complete with like the face mask and stuff, and it is dyed like a dark, dingy blue. It would probably be 50 years ago, the same color as your robes, like your school robes, like the school colors. But at this point, it's just kind of like old, and it kind of smells a little bit.
Okay.
But you don't have anything else with you because you weren't told to bring anything.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Absolutely. Well, we can't give it to you now, but we'll give it to you tomorrow morning. And she puts it back in the thing and kind of like hands a form over to the 3 of you or 4 of you to fill out. What else does anyone want to give?
I'm going to hand my silver a threaded rope and my now shocking dagger.
Your taser.
My taser.
Squall.
My squall. And
Do you know what a squall is?
Nope.
It's like a storm.
Okay.
You're thinking of a squab, Ben.
Close enough.
And I'm also going to give my tinderbox.
Are you going to give your armor? Because they're going to ask for it. They're going to say,
Do I own an armor?
You wear leather armor underneath your clothes every single day if you have an AC of 14.
Armor?
So I'm going to take it off?
Well, I would presume that you... They direct you to a small changing room just over in the corner, and they go, you can go remove your armor in there if you'd feel more comfortable doing that.
Yes, please. And I'm going to
Absolutely.
walk and take my armor off and then give it to them.
Okay.
It's clean.
It's probably kind of sweaty, actually. And they take it and put it in a small bag and then mark it with, they just put number 11 on it and then put it in the chest. And then they write...
Wait. Before I forget, can I add my short sword in there?
Oh, it would be preferred if you added your short sword.
I will give it to them.
Okay, they take it, put it in your bag, and put it in. And then on the sheet of paper, like the form that they handed to you, they just write in like ink number 11. And then underneath, they take your names down as well. So Mira Marchand, Winsler Wallaby, Integrity Idleberry, and we don't know the other person's name. She looks at you and goes, "And what's your name, miss?"
It's Serenepth.
Oh, absolutely. And she writes Serenepth Cinderman. And then kind of jots down a list of the things you've given her so far. Winsler, do you have anything?
Do
you need a rental?
So many books.
You don't need to... Okay, you don't need to give... She shakes her hand and says, no, only like things that you'll actually be using to fight. You don't have to give us
I will
books.
be using these.
Throw a book at somebody.
Okay, absolutely.
I'm going to hand her my spell book, first of all.
Okay.
My sinister-looking spell book.
Okay.
I'm gonna give her my 2 spell scrolls.
Okay.
Dust Devil and Locate Object.
Are you gonna give her the book that Delnus gave to you this morning?
Sure.
Okay.
And I'm also going to give her Fauna of the North.
Okay.
And that's all the books I have, except for explorations of like planar stuff. So I'm gonna keep that with me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw in my component pouch. And I'm gonna throw in my vial of sand because I put it in a vial.
Oh, you put it in a vial. You put a pound of sand in a vial.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
you probably lost a bit, or did you just leave it in your room for like
I just left
safekeeping?
it in my room for safekeeping.
Okay.
You never know when you might need a warm pile of sand to incubate an egg or something. I don't know.
True. Do you? And she, after taking your mini books and putting them in a small cloth bag, she goes, "Do you also need a uniform rental as well, or a loaner? It's not a rental. You don't have to pay."
No, I don't think so.
Do you have a article of clothing that will cover your body for tomorrow then, that you can give us right now?
I'm going to pull out that fancy robe that the dust method was wearing. That
was a little coat. That will not cover your entire body. If you just wore that, you would be naked. You would be naked from the waist down.
Okay, I'll just hand her my robe.
Unfortunately, this also won't do. We would need something that's full body protection.
No.
This is to prevent any injury whatsoever, because if you're not wearing something that is completely warded, you could be seriously injured, and we don't want that.
Okay. I'm gonna need a rantle then.
We have gnome-sized loaners. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a rantle.
Winsler's already a gnome-sized loner.
That was a mean joke.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Apologize to your friend. Okay.
I'm sorry for making fun of your fake character, Ben.
He's not fake. He's really my heart.
Okay. They jot you down for a secondary rental. Integrity, you already got something. You have armor and stuff. They'll also probably give you like a face mask too. And then finally, Serenepth. What do you have anything to hand over? A wand, some article. You knew that you would have to have something prepared, so you would probably have like a custom made, like tailored dueling uniform.
Well, because my character has dragon ancestry, she also has like blue scales that kind of pop up around her body for protection also. So she steps forward and she puts down a javelin.
Okay.
And a dagger. And with that, she also puts down like, it's not like a skin tight outfit, but it's a pair of trousers and a long sleeved shirt, and it very obviously is for her to move more because what she is wearing right now is heavy and a dress.
Absolutely.
She puts that down.
Okay. Thank you very much. And we will provide. Did you say it was sleeveless?
No. It's a long sleeved, like.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I zoned.
Like a blouse.
I heard sleeve and I was like, sleeveless.
Sleeve.
And
Gloveless
so they take all your stuff. They take all your stuff and then hand you the kind of form that has all your names on it. It has the number. It just says number 11 at the top. So when you come back, you just need to grab the number 11 bags. You are going to be dueling tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. The 8th years will go first, and then the first years go second. So be awake, be prepared, don't eat too much.
Do we know like who we're dueling, or are we dueling each other, or what's the?
You're going to be figuring that out. You're going to draw names out of a hat in the next room.
Oh, okay. So we can't like prepare. Okay.
You
Cool.
can't learn about your opponent, so you can just counterplay them in the dueling.
Apparently.
Do you have any questions about like any of the anything going on?
How do we know when we win a duel? Like, does they tap out, or what's the duel deal? I guess.
Armor. So we're gonna enchant all your armor so that if you get knocked unconscious or if something does any severe amount of damage that would kind of be unsafe, you'll be teleported to the medical ward that we'll have in one of the rooms set up nearby. It'll be a bit harder to hurt you just so that bad things don't happen. In the past, I'm not going to lie to you, some serious injuries have happened. Deaths have occurred here.
Oh, lovely.
But that was before the implementation of our abjuration program, so I wouldn't have any worries.
I was going to make a joke about the fact that, it's, just to prevent, death.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently it actually is.
Apparently death is very real.
We don't joke about
myself
death here.
And my associate Harriman are both well-practiced abjurers, and in the event of any untimely death, we do have the necromancy faculty on hand, so do not be worried.
Okay.
I think the actual rules of everything you'll go over tomorrow morning before the dueling starts.
I understand that we're putting down the things to help us in our fight. Do we also hand over jewelry or charms of some kind?
If it's going to be used to injure anyone, if it's going to be used to protect you from bodily harm, yes.
Would my stone of good luck?
No, you're fine with that.
Okay.
You can just tuck that underneath and it's fine.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's also a magic item, so it's not going to be able to be broken.
Okay.
And this high cheekboned woman then says, all right, now just go through that door over there on the right and you'll be ready to meet all your mentors. I need all of you to actually make intelligence checks. I'm not going to tell you why. Just straight intelligence, please.
Okay. 10 plus... Oh, -1. 9.
18.
15.
Sarna?
15.
Okay.
Dead air.
And as you walk into the next room. That's where we're going to end this episode for this week.
Beautiful ending.
I'm scared
What
we're
do
gonna
you
have
want
an
from
evil
me?
mentor who's trying to get us killed. Like a Professor Quirrell, that's my
We're
theory.
gonna end on an intelligence check, but I'm not gonna tell you
Yeah.
what the necessary
Yeah,
reason
why
for
would I
You
doing
tell
don't
this
you?
think
is.
that, but I think that.
The
I super
suspense
think
of
that.
it.
This is to make it so that your mind doesn't get probed by the secret illithids in the floorboards.
Did you say elephants?
Illithids, like mind flayers.
It's okay. I thought Luke said elephant
The
earlier.
mind
He said
elephants
elephant
will
capital,
get you.
and he thought he said elephant capital. I figured it out from context, but it was a very confusing 2 seconds.
That sounds like a cooler story than what we're playing.
The
Well,
Elephant
The
capital.
elephant
yeah.
capital.
I mean, also, there's a part of the brain called the hippocampus, so why can't it be mind elephants?
Dumbos and dragons.
It's a school for hippos.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this episode or any of the other episodes we've made, please leave a review or a rating on our iTunes. You can also get a hold of us on Twitter and Instagram at Trials and Trebs. If you want to chat with us, if you want to tell us, oh man, this was really cool, or man, you suck. Please don't do that second or like that other one because it'll make me cry real hard at night. But anything, please. And that's it for this week. Until next week, see ya.
Bye, y'all.
See you later,
Bye.
alligators.